We are going to Zion. Zion, my brothers and sisters, that's where we are headed off to, where we are going to be receiving those blessed times. Zion, Zion, Zion. Thank you so much for joining us, and we are so appreciative that we could be a part of this conversation with you this morning. Thank you so much for coming through. This is the Glorious Morning Show. Welcome to the final hour of the session. We call this one here the Wholesome Hour, and we want to just appreciate you for taking time to be part of this discussion together with us this morning. We're about to get into our final conversation, where we are looking at breast cancer with Ouma Mamatela. So do join us in just a second.
Do you think the world is getting better or worse? Unsurprisingly, a huge majority of people today believe the world is getting worse. Maybe this global pessimism is the result of a culture bathed in bad news, or maybe we inherently know the earth-shaking truth presented at the heart of this book. Something is deeply wrong with our planet, and we are powerless to fix it. The great controversy not only unveils the origin of human degradation, but also discloses the titanic struggle raging below the din of pandemics and peril, corruption and carnage, murder and mayhem. In this astonishing work, you will discover that evil has a face, good has a champion, and sin has an end. If you want to prepare for the end of this world and the glorious world to come, you must read this book. Join the campaign to distribute millions of copies of The Great Controversy by Ellen G. White to people in and around your communities. Contact your local church for more information or text us at +27 73 470 3520. Adventist World Radio SIDmedia, from broadcast to baptism.
Welcome once again to the Glorious Morning Show right here on Adventist World Radio SIDmedia. So excited that you could join us this morning right here. We are looking forward to chat with our guest, Sister Ouma Mamatela, who is already standing by to share with us this morning as we go into this conversation together. And let's definitely then welcome her into the space.
You are listening to Glorious Morning, the breakfast show with a difference, right here on AWR SIDmedia, from broadcast to baptism.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, and how are you?
How are we doing? You are cute. You might be turning the camera to face up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There we go. And I don't know, we're not seeing you clearly. Do you mind just wiping down the screen lens there so that maybe we can a better look at you quickly? We are chatting this morning to Ouma Mamatela, who is going to be our conversation anchor for this morning right here, looking to have a chat as we consider issues of breast cancer awareness. You know that October every single year is set apart as a Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we want to just invite you to be a part of this discussion right here as we go through these spaces together. Do come through and share your thoughts, your comments as we talk about my breasts and cancer. Looking forward to your involvement in this discussion. Cancer is an evil, right? A very cruel attack on any person's body. Today, we focus primarily on the part of the body that's slightly below the neck. And we want to just find out what that is all about and how we can be found as people who are benefiting from this discussion right here, better prepared, and awareness being raised right here. So do join us as we are chatting, and our anchor, like I said this morning, is Ouma Mamatela, who comes through on the line. Good morning, Ouma. Are you back? Do we have you on?
I am back, but I see that my camera doesn't want to switch on.
What happened there? You were fine just now. What changed?
I have no idea.
Technology. Hey, technology sometimes. Did you perhaps not switch off the camera button? If you look at the bottom there are two tabs. One is for mic, one is for camera. Perhaps you pressed the camera one by
Ah,
mistake.
I see.
There,
Let me.
there we go. There we go. I see you're coming back now.
Okay. I hope
um,
I'm clear this time.
you are not here. You are definitely not here. We've got blackness, which should have changed. Unless maybe it's a network issue. There we go. There we go. There we go. Look at you looking around. Look
I
at you
was
looking
looking at
around.
the light. Maybe if I switch on the light, it will be better.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much once again for taking the time to join us for this discussion, Wholesome Living, here on the Glorious Morning Show, and to just share and raise awareness regarding this very important subject right here, issues of breast cancer awareness. And especially as you, as a person, I mean, you're joining us as the director of navigation at Breast Health Foundation. Talk to us a bit about yourself. What does that mean, navigation? We're thinking, are you the lady who speaks on GPS and says 10 left? I don't think that's what your job is.
So thank you so much for the invitation. My name is Ouma
Mhm.
Mamatela. I am proud to say I'm a breast cancer survivor for 10 years,
Wow.
more than
Amen.
anything.
Praise
Yeah.
God.
And then when we speak about navigation, we speaking about the women who walk into the hospital, especially
Mhm.
breast clinic facilities, and give psychosocial support to the breast cancer women who are newly diagnosed and men.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you find that most of the time we go and do education, we start at the starting point at the clinic. So referral to this breast centers, it needs a
Mhm.
referral. So we see to it that the patient gets to be referred in relevant hospitals. So you find the other hospitals, they just do surgeries and the others are doing the mammograms, the others are doing all the treatment. So we make sure that we hold the patient's hands as they go through different hospitals to get their treatment done, be it chemo, be it radiation. That's what we call navigation.
Ah, I see. I see. Quite an important role there, and that issue of directing. And you're coming through to us from Breast Health Foundation. Talk to us a
Yeah.
bit about what this organization is all about, what you guys do.
So the organization was started 23 years ago by
Mm.
Professor Carol N. Ben, which
Okay.
is, yeah, yeah, she is the breast surgeon, which is being recognized around Africa for that matter.
Mhm.
So she said she saw the gap between the patient and the doctor. So when you are in the doctor's room and you've been diagnosed, you need a little bit of time to actually accept the news that you've been
Ah,
told.
okay.
So as the
Okay.
result, she started the foundation and said, you know what, let's have the navigators who would actually go further and explain to the patient what needs to happen and
Mhm.
give the
Mhm.
support and actually give counseling to the family as well. Because when you get affected by cancer, not just breast cancer, by cancer, oh, the family is also affected as well.
Yeah.
So that
True.
was, yeah, she said let's fill that gap so that the patient can have more information.
Thank you so much for that, and thank you for the work that you have been doing there at the Breast Health Foundation. We truly appreciate it. I think it's an invaluable job. Like you're saying, just to be told the news before you then start into the issues that you're now
Yeah.
dealing with it and trying to fix and trying to address and so forth. Just the news itself is a big news, and to have somebody who can say, hey, let's hold your hand and just really accept and conceptualize and visualize what this means for you is certainly a big job. Now, talking about breast cancer, and you kind of already hinted this earlier on as you were speaking to us about your work as a navigator. Um, breast cancer, you're saying it affects both men and women? We thought breast cancer was a woman thing.
No, actually, breast cancer affects men and women, although the percentage in men is very low, but it does
Okay.
affect them. The problem is that women have milk ducts, so hence our breasts
Okay.
are outside. So when
Mm,
it comes to male, they have breast tissues. It
okay.
applies the same.
All
So
right.
you find that in men, it is so visible that you see the early warning signs because now they're not dealing with breastfeeding, they're not dealing with the lot. So it's
Mm,
easy for them to pick up. So the signs are the same, like abnormal growth of their breast, and they feeling their lump. It's easy to detect it because it will be something that is so abnormal to them. Yeah, they do get
mm,
breast cancer.
mm. And I think that's very important that you mentioned this because sometimes we would then neglect some of those issues that will be going on in the men, and yet they are very vital. And you mentioned this issue of tissue and feeling the lumps and so forth, because that's
Yes.
one way to check for breast cancer, especially in the ladies. Easy to do that, like you're saying, they're on the outside. And men, how would they be able to then check for those lumps? Are they also checking for lumps, or they're checking for something else, or they can't deal with those personal checks? They would just have to go to a health practitioner.
It's not easy to actually get men to go to the health facility. So,
True.
so
True.
yeah. So yes, first thing that we're looking for is the lump. This lump can
Okay.
actually be in the armpit as well,
Okay.
and on the breast as well. And the other thing is that when you get home after a long day, you take out your t-shirt, and it's got a little bit of blood, it's got a little bit
Mm.
of discharge. It means there
Okay.
is a problem with your breast as a man.
Okay.
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 So when I say in the armpit, I'm talking about the lymph nodes. Sometimes
Okay.
on the lymph nodes, they can become positive when it comes to cancer. So
Mm.
sometimes you get, oftentimes we like, maybe it's the roll-on that we use. When you're using the roll-on, maybe you've developed something. What we're talking about when we say something in your armpit, it will be very consistent. You will
Okay.
realize that roll-on, it's not going anywhere. Even if you change that roll-on, it's not going anywhere. That's what we're talking about when we say the
Okay.
lymph nodes, they develop into
Okay.
your lump. And then on the breast, that lump that we're referring to, it won't go anywhere. 2, 3 months, it will still be
Mm.
there. But the
Mm.
thing is, it will grow. It will keep on growing. So that's a lump we're referring to. So you find that sometimes because of the hormones here and there, men and women develop lumps, but in a month or two, they disappear. That's
Hmm.
okay. We're talking about consistency.
Okay. So it must be there for a while.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I mean, and usually when you start having suspicions, or even sometimes just on a regular basis, ladies are
Mm,
encouraged to go for the mammograms. Talk to us
yes.
about the importance of this, and if also men should be finding themselves making these as regular checks.
So screening is very important. In our country, the law says women should start doing a mammogram after the age of 40.
Okay.
Now we find that women at 34 or 33, like I was diagnosed, I was 34. And
Oof.
remember that time I'm not eligible for a mammogram. So I can
Mm.
only
Mm.
do the other test. So it
Mm.
is important that we try to accommodate people. And the other thing that is so important is that the family history. If
Mhm.
maybe this lady is presenting with the aunt, the mother, the grandmother who all died because of cancer,
Mm.
can't we
Mm.
actually give them the mammogram in the early,
Yes.
early stage
Early
in
ages. Yeah.
life? It's so very important. So if you are 40 and above, you are actually encouraged on a yearly basis to do a mammogram. If you are under the age of 40, it will be an
Mhm.
ultrasound. And for men, they will start with an ultrasound. Hence, I said their breasts are not on the outside, they are inside. They will
Yeah.
do an ultrasound. If if there is something that is very suspicious, and then they will do a biopsy. Biopsy means that they will actually insert the needle in the
Mm.
lump, take few samples to the lab so that they can actually confirm that it is
Okay.
cancer. Because sometimes in our breast we develop breast flu, we develop breast ulcers. Sometimes it can be fibroids. Not all the lumps are cancers, but to get that confirmation, you actually need to do the biopsy, which is very important.
Mm. Mm, Thank you so much for that. And I think thank you for that distinction as well. And that encouragement that, yeah, screening is very important. I know you did say that men don't want to go see the health practitioner, but the encouragement still remains. We must go. I wanted us to talk about demographics and propensity. Um, Breast cancer, does it cut across the board where it doesn't select, it's just across the board? Or are there some people who are prevalent, according to your experience, and what have you seen?
So recently, for the past 2 years, I've been working in rural areas in Mpumalanga,
Okay.
and I have seen people develop lump, and it's at the later stage, and they don't have family history. As
Mm.
a result, they just say, I've just developed something and then it will go away. And to make matters worse is that if you need to access healthcare, it's far if you're in a rural
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
So as the Breast Health Foundation, we actually tried to get the services to the people in
All
rural
right.
area.
All
We
right.
have the doctor that we would go around with that does the AI ultrasound. And then this AI ultrasound is very predictive. It will tell you
Okay.
that yes, you have a lump. Is it cancer or not? Hence, I was saying we need to do the biopsy to know that if this lump is cancer. Sometimes it's not even cancerous. So
Mm.
we let's take the services to the people, because people are sitting there and some goggles like, no, I know who actually bewitched me. And I realized, look, it's
Yeah.
not about,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really not about the gender. It's really not about where you stay. If you are gonna have cancer, you are gonna have cancer, and we
Mm.
actually preach the way that early detection will save life. That's all we can do. So working at the rural area, it has been quite an experience, because people are clueless.
Yeah.
People are clueless. And the other
Yeah.
thing that I have learned and seen is that it is okay for us to preach the word and say, check your breast, check. But where do you go? Where
Yeah.
do you go? We
True.
need access.
True.
We need access for everybody. Yeah.
Mm, And we'll talk about that in just a short while about what the developments are regarding dealing with this and providing access to healthcare. I wanted just to follow up on this point you made regarding people who might not have history and so forth. Do we know,
Yes.
are there causes in terms of breast cancer that you can pinpoint? So, no, you got cancer because, I mean, sometimes, for example, with other cancers, it's lifestyle. You eat certain foods, you live a certain sedentary life and so forth, you are prone to have cancer. Is that the same thing with breast cancer? Can we point causes?
Unfortunately not.
Mm,
When I got diagnosed, I used to run the marathons. I was very healthy. I was eating very healthy. And
mm,
I never had family history. Because when I started doing the mammogram, I never thought I would be diagnosed. So
mm,
I actually would ask my professor, what is the cause?
yeah,
And
yeah.
she she also would be like fishing everywhere to say we don't
Mm,
know the cause. We
mm,
just like early detection would save your life, but what is
yeah.
the cause? You don't know. There's no prevention as well. It's not
Mm,
like cervical cancer where you can have prevention for young girls, you
mhm,
know. So when it comes to breast cancer, no, you don't have prevention, and we don't know what is the cause. But what we
mm,
advise is that eat healthy. Um, Take a walk here and there. You don't have to join the gym, but
exercise,
be
yeah.
active. You know,
Mhm.
the reason for that it's because even if you get diagnosed, it is better. You'll be dealing with the side effects better of the treatment.
Your immune system
Yeah.
is already kinda well suited to deal with whatever you need to then face with after that. Oof, so you can't
Yes,
avoid it. You just have to wait for early detection.
you
Ugh.
can avoid it. Hence, we're like, no, you're normal.
Mm,
Seek help quickly,
yeah,
quickly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
Yes,
certainly,
yes.
certainly.
Because sometimes you find that you go into your family, you're like, oh, I'm the breast cancer survivor, and they like, my aunt didn't make it. Most of the
Mm,
time, we find that people don't make it because they are diagnosed late. By the time
mm.
they're diagnosed, it's not localization, it has run to the bones, it has gone to the liver, it's spreading. So that is the problem.
Mm, mm. And I take it this is when then mastectomy is done, where the breast is actually having to be removed?
So mastectomy, most of the time they do it depending on where the lump is situated in the breast.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? So for me, they did mastectomy, and then I
Mm,
opted for the other one, so I did double.
mm, mm.
When I After I have done chemo, because my professor said, go do chemo. The whole purpose of chemo is to shrink the lump, and it will stop the growth of the lump. Now,
Okay.
told that it will be the size of the button after I have done chemo. And when I came back, it didn't shrink that much for them to do what we call lumpectomy. It didn't shrink. So it was now take off the whole breast, and then I opted for both. It depends where lump is sitting in the breast.
Okay.
It's not often done. But look, being diagnosed, it varies from person to the other. So you find women who are just like, can you just take it off? They don't want to hear anything. They're like, this breast has actually made mistake. Take it out, take it out. So again, it's a personal choice for most of the women.
Can they? Are you saying it's possible to opt to retain even though there is cancer that is overgrown and become malignant, like you're saying?
No. So sometimes women don't have a choice. Sometimes you find that in this situation you have a choice.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. If it's look, if it has covered all your nipple, it's of no use to actually cut there, and because you're not gonna get that nipple back.
Yeah.
So
Oof.
hence I'm saying it depends where that lump is in your breast. Yes.
And I guess that's
And
where
the
it comes
other,
back. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah, sorry. And the other thing again I see that is happening, it's because we in should I rather say in Gauteng, most of the patients are not getting radiation, so it's better to do mastectomy, because then it actually puts you in a position where you won't be needing radiation, because our health system is actually having a very, very huge backlogs. It actually will take somebody 4 years to actually get a radiation, and the waiting period is supposed to be 6 months.
Gee.
Yeah.
And this is in the public health system, I take it.
This is the public health system at the moment. Yeah.
That's a terrible, terrible situation. And I wanted to follow up with this. Since you're bringing across, and thank you for being vulnerable, by the way, and telling us your story and telling us from your own perspective as to your journey and what you went through. One of the questions that people would then have to say, when you get a mastectomy, be it single or double, what then is the alternative, the recourse? Do you just then go out into the world like that, or do you get implants, or must you get a prosthetic? Talk to us about then what is the next stage for somebody in that case.
So the breast facilities, they actually offer reconstruction. They can actually build the breast, take the muscles from the back, and build you a breast.
Okay.
The pain, it's unbearable. So I personally opted not to do reconstruction. And we have women who actually are suing what we call prosthesis for us. They even do nipple for us, so we sorted. So if you were wearing a t-shirt, you can actually look like, oh, you still have your breast. But the thing is, when you get home and undress, you straight, you have nothing. And it takes a lot of patients into depression.
Yeah.
Because now cancer has left a mark for you. Now you are dealing with a permanent scar that would actually bruise you every time you look at it. But it again, it's personal. It's how you look at it. You can take and say, I made it. I fought the good fight, and this is where I have won. And look at the scars that I'm carrying. You do it with pride most of the time. Yeah, but before getting there to the pride and saying, hey, I did it, it takes a lot from you.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
It is.
And I want you maybe to talk about the vital importance of therapy, counseling, coming to that regard to deal with this. I mean, like you're saying, this was a very big part of your body, and I know every part of the body is important, but when you talk about private parts, they're very, very sensitive matters. And even sometimes when you're going to be having a partner, this could affect issues such as intimacy as well. Talk to us about the importance of then having somebody walk you through that journey personally and also with your partner who you're going with.
So most of the time you find that it starts within you.
Okay.
You now lacking a lot of confidence.
Mm,
You don't
mm,
want to dress in front of your partner.
yeah.
And that really becomes a problem. And your partner as well doesn't want to touch you. He will be like, "Are you hurt? Is it painful?" You know, those kind of
Mm,
situations. So most of the time, you find that women who actually went through breast cancer journey, mm, I'm not sure about statistic.
okay.
In the long run, they don't have partners. They
Is
opt to
it?
be they opt to be single. Sometimes
Wow.
it's a choice that they didn't actually choose. But you find the
Mhm.
partner doesn't know how to deal with
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
changed person now, you know. So it is important to actually meet up with women who actually went through this. Some have done this, has got the t-shirts, some are still going through it. It's important that you
Mm,
meet up with people who understand, and counseling is very important. And you find
yes.
that the partner doesn't want to do counseling and you're left alone because you're the one who is dealing with this. And I should mention that survivorship is also very painful after you
Mm,
went through all of it, and people are looking into you like, oh, she did chemo, she did surgery, she did radiation, she's done, she's fine. No,
yeah.
you still go under the process of, sometimes you find that we're taking the tablet for 10 years, you still there, you still experience some side effects. So in actual fact, your life is not the same at all,
Mm, mm,
let
mm,
alone doing the same thing that you used to do with your partner, and the partners don't understand. Hence, we encourage to say go counseling so that they
yeah.
can understand.
Yeah.
You know, it's very important counseling. Hence, we're saying when we
Certainly.
do counseling, we're just not doing for somebody who's got diagnosed. We're doing for
Mm,
families as well.
the whole family.
Kids don't
Yeah.
understand that money. They won't be able to wake up. It's not
Mm,
that she is sick, but she's just there. She's
mm,
just there. Yeah.
mm. Mm, very important indeed. And I loved how you mentioned earlier on to say um, one of the things that needs to be always then be reinforced is this idea that you're a survivor. You beat this thing.
Yes,
I mean, cancer is a killer, right? It takes your
it
life.
is.
But if you're there, you're saying, you know what, I do have the marks, but I am alive. And you now need to not just survive, but actually live life. And there is definitely hope for that. Certainly, counseling is key. I wanted us to
Yes.
draw, maybe as we draw to the close, talk about the importance of healthcare in all this. I mean, you're making mention of how in your work and your travels, especially sometimes to the remote areas, there is a big
Yes.
challenge. Yeah. What are the developments that we're getting? Do we see growth? Do we see progress? And talking about healthcare and access to it, do we see developments regarding treatments and that are being available in and across South Africa and the African continent? Is there progress? Is there something that we can say there's hope even at the end of the tunnel? I mean, surely we've been talking awareness for years now. There must be
Yes.
progress in some way.
I mean, we've been talking education, awareness.
Yeah.
So I am proud to say the Breast Health Foundation, together with one of those companies, actually had to build from scratch a breast facility. But
Hmm.
then it's not just breast, it's a woman clinic
Okay.
in
Okay.
rural in Tinswalo.
Ah,
It's in April. Okay. So
amen.
we
Awesome
we
stuff.
went there and we did it. We did it. So when you walk in there as a woman, you're able to do a pap smear. You're able to check your breast. And
Wow.
I love the fact that people can walk. I
Yeah.
love the fact that when they see something that is symptomatic when it comes to breast, they on site can actually do the biopsy and send it to
Mm,
them there and
mm.
then. You know, yeah, we're so proud.
Yeah.
We clap,
Yeah.
we clap hands for ourselves like we did
Certainly.
well. Yeah, so we did it. It's in the rural of the rural. The
Okay.
level of poverty at that site, it's not at that
Mm,
level. But we helping a lot of women on that side, and they're very grateful. They're very grateful. So that's our task into alleviating all this, because it takes a while for a woman to be diagnosed.
mm,
It means
mm.
if you are actually seeing the lump today, you need to go to the nearest clinic. After the nearest clinic, you get a referral letter to a breast facility. When you get
Okay.
there, then you're not going to be seen immediately. You're going to be booked and say, come on this day. Go back,
Mm,
see the doctor,
mm.
and the doctor will actually book it either for a mammogram or biopsy. You're going to go
Okay.
back and do this. Okay. And then after that, you're going to wait for your results. It might be 4 weeks, it might be 6 weeks. It's a delay on its own, So we're doing our best where we are to say, can we treat this as emergency?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely it is, right? It is an emergency and we need to treat it as such. I was thinking, and maybe you'll school me and help me understand, in some health areas, I'm talking about, for example, eye health, you will find they dispense mobile clinics. Is breast health something that we can have a mobile facility that travels around, especially like you're saying, in these remote areas?
Yes, definitely. So
Okay.
we actually right now want to venture into bushback area
Okay.
to to do the mobile. Hence, I
Ah,
said we actually want to go around in these villages, take the services to the people. What
yes.
we have learned when we went on that site is that the traditional leaders, people respect them so much. So we took these traditional leaders and say, let's give you training. When
Okay.
you see
Okay.
somebody who's symptomatic, can you send them to the hospital? And
Hmm.
we realized that if we speak to them and say, organize some women, we will be working in and doing the puffs, checking on the breast, that will be a full-on day. Women would show up in rural areas. So for now, yes. Trust me, by the time we speak
Wonderful.
sometime in December, we will be having a truck that we would be pulling this, and the women will be getting help in every way,
Amen.
shape, or yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And kudos to you for that. As we conclude, I wanted to just have you speak to us again about Breast Health Foundation, where you guys found, where you're situated. If somebody wants to get some assistance from your place and your facilities, where can they contact you from?
Okay, so we have our offices at Auckland Park. That's our head office, and then
Okay.
we have a patient navigator in Garangua, Dr. Josh Mukari Hospital, and
Okay.
then we also have a navigator in Steve Biko. If you'd like to reach us, you can reach us on this number
Hmm.
073 326
Hmm.
1557, and we also offer counseling telephonically if you need to
Okay.
reach out to somebody and you need to talk to somebody. We are available, yes.
Yes. Yes, that's what I was really wanting to emphasize on, this idea of just to hear somebody say something to them and give guidance and advice on what needs to be done would be very, very key. Just give us that number again if you can.
073 326 1557. You can even WhatsApp on that number.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. And beyond the borders of South Africa, are you reaching out in that
Not
area
yet.
or not yet?
Not yet. But we're excited that we will go out of the country.
Certainly, certainly.
Yes.
No, thank you so much, Isoma. I really appreciate your time this morning and just raising awareness and telling us this exciting news that's happening, telling us your own personal story. I think that has really, really made an impact. And I pray that it has made an impact to those who are joining us this morning and those who will be part of a conversation later in the podcast. Any final thoughts you'd want to leave with and as we close off?
Final thoughts. Know your normal. It is important to seek help early. That's what I can say. Stay blessed.
Profound. That's
Yeah.
profound. Thanks, Oma. Really appreciate your time and God bless you. Until we chat again next time, keep well.
Thank you for the invitation.
Marvelous stuff. And that is Ouma Mamatela, who joins us this morning right here on the Glorious Morning Show, talking to us about the importance of understanding yourself. And she says, what? Know your normal. That's what it's about. Know your normal. So that when you change and moves and deviates from that, you can quickly pick it up. And it's important to address early detection. I know it's not as nice. I know sometimes it's not good to be probed. And I know, especially in the African context, we want to fix when there is a problem. No problem, no need to fix. Don't address it if it's not broken, right? But sometimes just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's not there. And it's good to pick it up early and it can be addressed beside, other than saying waiting for pain and challenges. And then you say, okay, let's see what we can do. Know your normal.
You are listening to Glorious Morning, the breakfast show with a difference. Right here on AWR SID Media, from broadcast to baptism.